Here I am in Boston for PAX East along with over 69,000 other gamers to have some fun and see firsthand what's coming to our home consoles, PCs, and handhelds in the next year. And just in case you're the kind of gamer who prefers to play unplugged, almost half the expo floor was devoted to tabletop gaming of every kind. I was really excited to check out all the new games, only to find, well, there really wasn't much newsworthy at all. PAX East comes at kind of an awkward time in the year, where almost everything on the show floor was either already announced at PAX Prime or E3, or has already been released. You could already buy most of this stuff. There were 3 or 4 Marvel vs. Capcom 3 areas set up, and Nintendo was showing off a ton of old titles like Pokemon Black and White. In fact, showing off old titles is pretty much all Nintendo seems to know how to do. But anyway, cheap shots aside, this is what I'm trying to say. This was not a show really for media, this was a show for attendees, and it was a great show for them. Most of the games at previous shows I'd been to were only showing closed-doors demos to media. PAX East was the first show where the public could play demos of games like Duke Nukem Forever, Star Wars The Old Republic, the entire 3DS launch catalog, and Beyond Good and Evil. Wait, what? Now, there were some new games there, and I'll cover them in the videos that follow. Right now, I'm just trying to give a general overview of what the expo was like. And as a journalist-type guy, I think it's pretty sad when the most exciting game announced at the expo was a new Jagged Alliance game, and all they had there was a picture, there was no demo, nothing. What? I love Jagged Alliance. There were also a lot of companies conspicuous by their absence. No Disney, no Sega, no Sucker Punch, no Torchlight, no Warhammer, no 2K Studios, and I was so looking forward to seeing XCOM again. Well, I guess they had a video for BioShock Infinite there, but you didn't need to go to Boston for that. Oh, but Capcom was there, and they made a big splash, shelling out the mad dollars for the cheapest table available in the far corner of the hall, announcing precisely nothing, and sending 2 board guys to sell overpriced $40 pillow pets. I almost bought one just so I'd have something to smother myself waiting in MVC3's goddamn online multiplayer lobby watching those fucking cards bounce around. Sorry, it's kind of been a rough couple of weeks. There was no Square Enix either, and they actually have games to announce. It's almost like they're ashamed of something. I think the real trend I noticed at PAX East was 3D gaming. There were a lot of computer hardware vendors, and almost all of them were showing off their readiness for multi-monitor 3D gaming, or as I like to call it, migraine vision! Okay, hey, I admit, 3D's not my thing, but I think I've got abnormal brain chemistry. Everyone else was going crazy for it, and just about every new game set to come out on the PC is boasting a 3D option, like Section 8 Prejudice.
Hey, I'm here at the NVIDIA booth with Cody from Timegate Studios, and I just got finished looking at somebody else playing a demo of Section 8 Prejudice. Now, I want to play this myself, but maybe you can tell me what the deal is with Section 8, because what really struck me right away was that right here at the NVIDIA booth, all the games here being played are in 3D. Everyone here is wearing glasses, and everyone's checking out in 3D, which is really striking. It's pretty much new, isn't it, right?
Yes. So NVIDIA has their 3D vision technology, and part of our Section 8 Prejudice development process was to incorporate the 3D vision into the game itself. So we're really excited about it. We put a lot of work into it, basically tweaking the 3D vision, making sure it's delivering the experience that we want players to have.
All right, and so I also saw that, is this primarily a multiplayer experience, or is it a single-player experience? I'm just kind of curious what the whole story behind the game is.
So Section 8 Prejudice is both a single-player and multiplayer experience. The game mode that you saw being played earlier was our Conquest game mode, which is basically, your standard team-based 16 on 16 capture the control point game mode. We also have a campaign as part of the game, which is not playable here today. And there's also a swarm mode, which is a 4-player co-op against waves of enemy AI.
Okay, so the one question I ask everybody who brings a game out here basically is, there's a lot of shooters out there, like there's a lot of MMOs out there, so what sets Section 8 Prejudice apart from all the other shooters that we see?
So Section 8 Prejudice, if I had to sum up what the difference between it and all of the other shooters on the market are, it's choice. Section 8 Prejudice, from spawning into the game, you start right there, you can spawn where you want. And then moving on from there, you can customize your loadout. You can give yourself whatever weapons, equipment, and passive abilities you want. So if you want to be the guy who takes a sniper rifle and a missile launcher and boosts yourself with all armor, passive abilities, then you can do that. The sky's the limit as far as customization. Moving on from there, we also have dynamic objectives that kind of start popping up throughout the gameplay. So it's not just run around, capture these control points. It's also, we've got this general who's deploying to the battlefield. Escort him across the battlefield to this particular control point. And then as part of completing that, you're earning points for your team. The general sticks around, helps you defend that control point. It's very dynamic. And whether a player wants to just continue, with the objective or capturing the control points, or take part in these dynamic objectives, either way, they are still contributing to their team. So there's this great degree of player choice with Prejudice, and that's like I said, if one word to separate it from everything else, it would be choice.
Well, another word that I would choose to describe it is affordable, because I heard you talking to the gamers. They were asking where they could find it, and it's multi-platform. You said it was Xbox, PS3, and PC, right?
Right.
And it's available digitally for a download for $15, right?
That's correct. We'll be on PC. We'll be hitting up all of the digital distributors. It'll be available via Xbox Live Arcade as well as the PlayStation Network. All of it for $15. And in that, you get the Conquest mode, which you were seeing, as well as the other two modes that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, great. So I guess my last question is, when can we expect to have Section 8 Prejudice available for download?
Spring 2011. We have not announced an official release date yet, but it still is in that general target window.
All right. Well, we're really excited to check it out. Thanks, Cody, for talking to me, and we'll be sure to check out Section 8 when it's available.
Timegate Studios is planning an aggressive DLC schedule to keep the action fresh. The real selling point seems to be their new 4-player co-op Swarm mode, which combines first-person shooting and tower defense, and an emphasis on mobility and character customization. You'll be able to drop anywhere on the map when you respawn, and there are vehicles and jetpacks. You can't go wrong with jetpacks, right? For more information, visit www.warisprejudice.com. There's a lot more games, sarcasm, and personal abuse to come, so keep checking back for more of my coverage of PAX East 2011.